Hey guys, Bird Yu-Gi-Oh here. So today I'm going to be giving you guys an update to my Altergeist deck. I've done a little bit of changes to it, added some really powerful cards that I think are going to be very good against the current meta. But before we get into that, I just wanted to say if you guys would like to support the channel, probably the best and easiest way is through Patreon. I have a link in the description for that. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Luma Pools for supporting me on Patreon. Really appreciate it. You will not be disappointed. I actually will do exclusive deck profiles on Patreon every week. That'll be the minimum I do, if not more. You'll have access to all of those if you become a Patreon supporter of the channel. So, yeah, let's get right into this, guys. Starting off, of course, with Multi-Faker. He's the reason the deck is as good as it is, or can even compete. So yeah, definitely play 3 Multi-Faker. Amazing card. We also play 3 Meluseek. The main reason we play Meluseek is obviously to get 2 Multi-Faker. It's a level 1, so you just link it away with a number of cards that we have. Usually Link Karibo is the most common one. And then you'll be able to add a Multi-Faker. Super easy. And then a really good, another really good normal summon. These are both really good normal summons. Marionetter is going to be able to set an Altergeist trap directly from your deck. So we don't have to quite max out. And we definitely don't on our Altergeist traps. So that is really nice to have. We play the 2 Siliquidus. You only need 2. You really don't want to see it in your hand. You want to special summon this off of Multi-Faker, and then just bounce a card your opponent controls and a card you control. Easy as that. And then just 1 Conquery. It's just a cool one to have. It's not really necessary, but just for another name, and it's a nice search card basically. And the final monsters we play is just 3 Ash Blossom. Honestly, just any 3 hand traps that you want. It's kind of what I fit in here. So that is it for the monsters that we're playing. For the spells, play 2 Pot of Desires. We need some draw power, and this is a nice budget and still very good option because just like with most of my profiles that play Pot of Desires, we don't really care what we banish in this as long as we're not banishing all 3 Multi-Faker. Which doesn't happen like ever, then this card is just, free monsters, free traps, whatever you need. And then I wanted to play a powerful Floodgate that works well with this deck. And so one of the best ones is Secret Village of the Spellcasters. So all of our Altergeist monsters are spellcasters, so unless our opponent controls a spellcaster, they won't be able to activate spell cards. So obviously, against decks like Shadal, this isn't as good. But against really any other deck, this will be very good. And that's it for spells. Very, very low spell count. Mostly going to be playing traps. And a really good one is Personal Spoofing. I wish it was Altergeist Personal Spoofing, so that it's searchable. It's not, but it's a really good way of again, getting to that Multi-Faker, because that kind of is the key of the deck, is get a Multi-Faker to hand, and that's a really good way of doing it. And then I actually decided to go with just 2 Protocol. I was finding I was just seeing too many of this card, and you kind of almost reuse it, especially if you have 2 of them. You could always send one of them back to the hand, and then just set it back your following turn, and then you'll be able to activate it again. So I just found I was seeing too many of them, so 2 is working for me. And I actually bumped up Manifestation to 2, because this is a really cool way of just reusing your Altergeist monsters. It just special summons 1 from Grave. So yeah, I like it at 2. And then now for the super powerful traps that we're playing, got to play the really powerful Solemns. Playing 3 Strike, 3 Judgment, and potentially the surprise one for you guys, 3 Warning. I feel against the top decks, Like Rockets, heck, Invoked, Shadal, Dinosaurs. This card is actually really good. You have cards like Double Evolution Pill and Shadal, all of the Shadal fusion cards that are going to be, summoning with a spell card. So Solemn Warning is actually really, really good, I feel like, right now. Obviously, Judgment and Strike are probably a little better and a little more universal. But I think right now, if you can play it in a deck, Warning is very good as well. And then in addition to the Secret Village of the Spellcaster, I wanted just one more Floodgate that would potentially really help us out. And the obvious choice there was Anti-Spell Fragrance. Just because we have such a low spell count, this is just gonna, again, those top decks, they have those powerful spells that they want to get out right away. And so having a card like Anti-Spell Fragrance is just really nice to slow them down quite a bit. And then final card, just a skill drain. I use it more like a last ditch. Obviously go through your other traps. And then if they absolutely are just still getting crazy monsters on board, dropping that skill drain should help you out a lot. So that's the main deck. Stuck with 40. Now for the extra deck, we of course play the necessary 3 Hextia. You're usually going to be able to make, once you get going, obviously, 2. And that's really nice to make 2 of them. It's almost unbeatable. Once you make 2 Hextia, have a few back row, you should win. Hextia is just really good. And then just the 1 Prime Banshee. Sometimes you want to make it. It's a good link 3. And then we play 2 Link Karibo. It's really nice, obviously, to just link away that Meloseek into that. And you can also go into Artemis. And then, since we play a lot of spellcasters, going into Selene is sometimes really nice to just get another free summon back from Grave. Potentially build an even bigger board with like a Selene and a Hextia is sometimes, doable. And then just some other kind of option cards for the extra deck. IP Masquerena, Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn are all really nice. Obviously, doing IP Masquerena into Unicorn on your opponent's turn is sometimes detrimental to them, or just a really good interruption. And then we play a Borload, a Saryuja, and then the Crusadia Avermax. You can also make this off of IP Masquerena. And then, again, with the manifestation up to 2 in this version, you'll actually be able to make these more than you think. It's not going to happen all the time, and you don't really need to most of the time with all these really powerful traps that you're playing. The extra deck is just a toolbox, basically, that you can just use as needed. But yeah, that is the deck, guys. I think it's a really good control-heavy deck that can just lock your opponent out and win just by that alone. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.